Thank you for having me.
Yeah, the cry for military takeover continues in Nigeria as the North flee to Burkina Faso and Niger Republic for safety. What is your take on that?
Well, it is so sad that ever since this president came on board, the insecurity has exploded. And indeed, even Abuja now is no longer secure. This is supposed to be the capital base of Nigeria. The FCT is supposed to be the most secured, the most, the most sane contraption that we have in Nigeria today. However, we have seen in the recent times, under this President Tinubu, several Nigerians have been kidnapped within Abuja. We can see how the kidnappers even go into people's houses to kidnap people for ransom. We can see how they went into some estate. By last year, December, around that period of time, they went into an estate, a family of 5, and they kidnapped the mother and the 4 kids. The man had to pay a sum of about 50 million naira to have his family back. At the end of the day, they killed his daughter. So this is the situation of the country. Not to talk about the northern part of the country, whereby we don't have a border. The terrorists, they walk in and stroll out. Every day, they walk into all these rural communities. They kidnap at least 30 people like chickens, and they take them back into their dens, sending messages. They send messages back to the families. They send messages even through the mainstream media that if they don't pay 50 million naira per head, this is where Nigerian security, condition are so worsened. Look at what happened to Soludo. Soludo, who went to Abuja to have his wedding, while the wedding has concluded, the visitors, or should I say the guests, about 15 of them were kidnapped. In fact, one of them was killed. While those that are still alive have been asked to pay 15 million naira per head. And Soludo is not even saying anything about it. Nobody is talking anything about it. The president, instead of him to tackle insecurity, instead of the president to find every possible means to ensure that our farms are safe, our homes are secured, our streets, there is what we call knife light. Now the president doesn't give a damn. The president would rather go to Paris, because that is what is happening. Yes, this morning the president is heading to Paris without tackling insecurity. The president, instead of him to invest massively to buy weapons, to upgrade our military, to upscale our police armed forces, the president is using money to buy yachts, to buy 150 billion naira aeroplane, and in fact he has bought an Escalade of 1 billion. He has increased the salaries of his heads and ministers, but of course the Nigerians are helpless in this case. It is unfortunate that the Northerners, who thought that because of a Muslim ticket that they voted this man and things were going to go in their favor, yes, they have been betrayed. Because as it were, Tinubu doesn't give a damn about them. Tinubu doesn't give a about anybody. Tinubu is all about his own personal interest and security. Tinubu is all about his own personal structures, which are the criminals that surround him, the criminals in his cabinet. We can see last week a criminal was exposed, a man who is a part of his economic team. Right? A man who has been eating the subsidy money. His face was exposed, but Tinubu was stone deaf. He didn't speak a word. In fact, people tried to call Tinubu, what's going on? You're supposed to sack this person. Look at Bello Matawale. Bello Matawale has been fingered to be sponsoring terrorism. And to back that allegation up, a man who was caught right-handed by the police, where he was exchanging arms for money, but the president is not saying anything about Bello Matawale. Don't forget, before Bello Matawale even become an appointed minister, there are so many allegations that Bello Matawale is responsible for the insecurity in the country, especially in Zamfara. People say that Matawale is one of those people who have a direct communication with the bandits. And we have seen how top bandit leaders came outside to even indict Bello Matawale. Bello Turuji came outside and said that Bello Matawale is a major sponsor, that they are working for him, that he has a share to collect from every ransom payment any kidnapped persons make. But the president has also taken his time to do that. And then the Northerners today are complaining that there's insecurity. Oh, they've not seen anything. They are crying that the food crisis has increased. Why wouldn't that happen? Instead of them to protest, their, their clerics will come out there and tell them protest is an haram, that what they should do is pray. And we can see them praying in Kano. We saw them praying in Taraba. So for me, I think what the insecurity happening in the north part of Nigeria is so unfortunate. But I must say that the northern people themselves are the cause of their wars, because the one tool, the one instrument, the only means a Nigerian who is aggrieved against his government has to use against the president is for them to organize and go out there and protest, protest against whatever level of incompetency. Because for me, this president has been so incompetent. Right from day one to this very day, the only achievement that we can say they've actually had is to buy presidential jet, is to buy a yacht, and then to buy a 1 billion naira Escalade. Thank you for having me.